What's going on, everybody? Zach from Hoonigan here. Today, low life video. I'm talking about old Boomhauer here. My 1974 C10, short cab, short bed, still a bit of a shitbox on the outside, and a whole lot of party underneath. The concept was basically to take an old truck, keep it looking old, keep it feeling old, but basically build a monster out of it with mostly bolt-on or off-the-shelf parts, right? I'm not a fabricator, I'm not a builder, I probably don't even belong on this show, but we've thrown this together and it does work. I mean, it's my daily driver, it's the only four-wheel vehicle I own. Everything else is always motorcycle. But this thing, party. So at the heart of Boomhauer is this Texas Speed 434 cubic inch re-sleeved LS3. This is one of Texas Speed's turnkey crate engines. That means it comes complete from them, everything you need. It came with an ECU, front runner kit from Billet Specialties, everything. They cut the sleeves out of it, filled it with Darton steel sleeves, forged rotating assembly, new bearings throughout. It's been decked. All the clearances, all the tolerances are perfect. It's topped off with a set of their PRC 260cc heads and one of their sheet metal intakes. Running fast 50-pound injectors. The whole thing's controlled by a GM E38 ECU. So, you know, pretty basic stuff, relatively, but it works. Compression set pretty low, just over 11:1, and it still runs great on California pump gas. So you drive this thing across the country, not have to worry about it. It's got my signature BFD chop monster can. BFD stands for Big Butts Dick, because it's the hairiest can you can stuff in an LS without basically destroying everything. The wheels are from Detroit Steel. Basically, they're 20-inch smoothies, 20x9 all around, just different offset or back spacing from the front to rear. We did a bunch of measurements to try to figure out how we could bring this wheel far enough out, not using spacers or anything, to make it fit right. And I think we got it about as far as we possibly could without having to do a bunch of cutting. Did have to cut a little bit of the inner fender here to make it work, but it sits about right. Rides right. I want to get it a little lower, but right now I am currently smashing my wheel tubs if I hit a huge bump, so that's not good. But once we get that sorted out, get this thing down a lot lower. And of course, running Michelin rubber on all four corners, so I run the Pilot Sport 4S. Dude, these things are super sticky. I love these tires. They work great in the rain. Usually, you know, you can stand on this thing and just blow the tires off, even at like highway speed. Just had it dynoed Tuesday. Not to be like a weird flex or anything, but so, I mean, this is on a safe tune, but we're able to put down 545 to the wheels, 473 pound-feet of torque. So, and that's going through a 4L80E, you know, Curry 9-inch, and with these big steel 20s on it. So, you know, there's quite a bit of parasitic loss, but this is actually pretty cool. I got to test one of QA1's very first street-driven kits for the C10 for the rear suspension. It's phenomenal. Basically, it uses a torque arm style suspension setup instead of like a 4-link in the back. Does great when I'm doing burnouts, and it handles really nice on the street. The whole thing's incredibly light. I've also got QA1 coilovers and tubular A-arms up front using a Wilwood drop spindle and brake kit. So it's got Wilwoods all around on this truck. The spindle's actually sick. My favorite part of the truck though is the exhaust. So for the exhaust, I'm running Hooker stainless 1 7/8 inch headers. They feed into this legit NASCAR boom tube. And I've got Mr. Mullet motherfucking Mike in the building to help me out. So this is actually off of a stock car. The whole damn thing is about 5.5 feet tall.
We're gonna put some hangers on the tip because this tip's kind of heavy, it's hard to move around. So we'll put some hangers on it and then we can start fabbing up the front, chop the front, get the front connected.
It sounds fucking savage. Scavenges super well. It's flat all the way through and it basically acts like a skid plate. The cool thing is, since the rear gear is so wide, I mean, it really starts pulling from like 70 miles an hour on. Like that's when this motherfucker opens up. I was lucky enough for somebody to hit me up on Instagram and ask if I wanted that. Definitely my favorite part of the car. That's actually how the truck got its name. because of the boom tube. Like that's where that came from. Hurt made that up. So if you don't know Hurt, cut to some footage of him crashing cars. I've hardly touched the interior of this thing. I wanted it to feel like an old truck. I have the all-important Moon Eyes footprint gas pedal that I actually, was a gift from my coworker, Vinny. And this square body Syndicate 2-inch shorter like tilt column, which this thing's actually really badass. I didn't think it was something I would actually need until I felt it. And then I realized how much better it is to actually just not have the steering wheel jammed up in you. And the fact that you can tilt it on long road trips is just awesome. Another thing about that square body Syndicate column is that you can't rip the side off and then hot wire it. You can't rip the side off and basically steal it by pulling the rod. It's all digital, so it's nice. One of the things I'm most stoked about with this engine is this was the test bed for my new line of camshaft Texas Speed. They're called the BFD Chop Monster cams. So basically cams designed to provide just the nastiest chop at idle, but also still make big power throughout the band. This is the test bed for the BFD Stroker. Huge power, big fat torque curve all throughout, usable power for the street, but super nasty chop. Pumped on that.
I had to open that hole up. I don't know if you noticed on the shock, it's fucking hitting the mount. Pressure pull out. See that drift pin? This. That's how I ran mine. Yeah, the only thing is, it's hitting some. Oh shit. Bolt's too big. So I went over there, I went over to Ken's house, Ken Sanders, and I went to pay somebody's bail money, I think. He's a bailsman. I parked my truck on the street. In front of his garage. Oh yeah, in front of his garage. And then Tom comes up driving his old truck and just start talking. Apparently we know a lot of the same people. So that's how Tom became a friend. He just came around.
Truck life.
Yeah, man, truck life. I think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know what to do here.
What happened was, like I said, everything was supposed to fit when it's fully drooped. Fully compressed. So right now, when we were doing it, it was at full droop. So that nothing's gonna fit like that because I built it to when it was all compressed. So what we have to do is take those off and put them back in like this. Rear kit like this, Mike. I told him it's gonna be like 10 grand. And he's no, he responded back. He said, no, I definitely want to go with you because of your show. Because of the show. Here's the gussets for the back of this plate. I'm gonna make some gussets and I'm gonna have to end up welding it on. So I'll take the tank off, but I talked to your buddy from Westcott, Plasma, about getting the plasma cutter for the shop. Cash deal was like 25 grand. That's what he said, 25 grand. And you give me all the software and then teach me how to use it too. So, the only way I can pull that off is if I sell my truck. Yeah, so we got the new shop going and we're trying to outfit it with tools, new tools. It's one of those things, this is like my dream shop and I'm not willing to put used tools in it. So I want everything inside of there to be brand new. This is where I was working out of the shop. I never had intentions to get bigger than what I was doing for myself, as far as building my own Apache truck and just doing stuff for my own. I had people that always ask me, like, do you do this type of work? I'm like, no, I just do it for myself. So basically from that Apache truck that I built,
Come back a little bit.
about 2 years ago now,
Right there.
I've accumulated customers, jobs, and now moving into a new building. Just two and a half times bigger than what I have now. Like 3-4 months ago, the landlord told me that, hey, the shop across you's coming up for rent. Do you want it? I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. Like, the stuff I do is not something you would rush. Dude, this is like, I do very, very detailed work. And some people just don't understand it. We're gonna make a movie of us releasing Model X, Model 3, the big rigs.